Gamers are put into two categories most of the time, casual gamers and hardcore gamers. Now, a part of being a hardcore gamer that I heard growing up is you've gotta complete this game, dude. You're not a real gamer until you've completed the game. And I would try to. I'd play a game I really loved, like Far Cry 3. I got every collectible and grinded for every achievement. But when I failed to do the co-op missions with my buddy, I would ask myself, am I not a real gamer? And then I grew up, but I'm still conflicted. Completing video games is a pastime enjoyed by many people all over the globe. But what does it mean to complete games? In the past, video games have had a fairly simple goal, right? Play a game, beat it, congrats! But it's not that straightforward. You see, gamers might not like themselves, but they sure as heck love games. The trend of completing games is usually traced back to Super Mario 64, where you don't have to collect all 120 stars to finish the game, you only need 70, making those remaining 50 stars optional content. And you can finish the game with only collecting 16 stars, and apparently 0 stars, so maybe that doesn't matter. But we can agree that in order to complete Super Mario 64, you need to collect 120 stars. So you got Super Mario 64 as the start of completing games with collectibles. But that's not the oldest one either. In Pac-Man, all you do is collect pellets and fruit to get further. It's the game's only objective. But alright, let's say we count collectibles that count the collectibles in-game, like in Super Mario 64. But that's not the oldest one either, shucks. Pokemon Red for the Game Boy came out a few months before Super Mario 64, and Pokemon is all about catching them all. Them being the little rats and stuff. So alright, now we have an intro to collectibles. Cool! Collectibles are one factor in completing games. Whether it's getting every puzzle piece in Banjo and Kazooie, every bobblehead in Fallout 4, or every Korok seed in Breath of the Wild, collectibles exist in almost every game. In some games they can be quite fun, like finding every bobblehead in Fallout 4, as finding a bobblehead improves one of your skills. But is everything that you collect a collectible? Well, sort of, I think. Some games have things you can collect without having them being collectibles, like weapons and clothing. Should they count as collectibles? It's something you can collect, so I guess it depends on the collector if it counts or not. This is already really vague. So we've got collectibles. What else? Well, in every game there is a story to be told, whether it's a short story or a long, vast story. This is often the main portion of any game, and really we should have started with this. This is number one, alright? There's also another element to games that is story-like, but kind of goes off the main story's path. Side quests, side missions, and optional content is present in multiple games, often in RPG games, open world games, that kind of thing. In GTA 5, you can find side missions marked by a question mark or a random encounter. In Fallout 4, you will randomly stumble upon a side quest just by being in the right place at the right time. These missions are often just small, fun storylines to begin and end with a single person or place. So now for completion, we've got the main missions, side missions, and collectibles. What else? What else? Well, there's one more way of tracking progress, something that will require us to go meta. Facebook. Achievements and trophies, little badges that you can show off on your profile that says, hey, I gamed. You'll often get achievements for doing tasks in games like story missions, collecting a certain amount of something, or doing something X amount of times. You also have some funny and challenging achievements that you can unlock organically or by doing something intentionally. In Mafia 1 the Remaster, after a certain mission, you have the option of driving one of your drunk mafia buddies home, or you can drive to a strip club. Neat. In Stray, you get an achievement by dunking a basketball. In the Stanley Parable, you get an achievement for not playing the game for 5 years. Which is not that exciting, actually. So here's my question about achievements. Should they count towards 100%ing a game? Well, in one way, yeah. You can't really say you've done everything in the game until you've gotten every single achievement. It's something within the game. It's something that the game devs wanted you to experience. And some achievements are difficult, like achievements for playing on the highest difficulty. But they are achievements and should get a reward for the player that achieves it. On the other hand, what about this? Some games have way too many achievements, like Payday 2, The Binding of Isaac, Team Fortress 2. I get having an achievement for doing a thing in a game, but you don't need to do that for everything. Like, some just take a lot of time, like the commitment achievement in the Stanley Parable, where you have to play it for the entire duration of a Tuesday, or the True Champion achievement in Tabletop Simulator, where you have to play the game for 1,000 hours. That's a lot of time just flipping a table. And some achievements are dependent on others to get, and this is where achievements really put a dampener on completion. Online achievements. Some games include achievements for doing something online, like winning 5,000 rounds in CSGO, where you have to be good, or you just have to play for long enough. Achievements like that not only requires you to be good at the game, you also have to be better than the other guys. That's a weird variable for achievements. Some achievements are impossible to get because the online service has a low population, or is just non-existing. Some are impossible because the chance to get it is so ridiculously minuscule. Like the achievement for playing with the actual Gary in Gary's mod. Like, how would one even grind that out? Is it a huge problem? Well, not really. Some games don't have achievements, like Nintendo games don't have any achievements. But for the games that got them, should they count for completion? Some say yes, some say no. I think it depends on the player and the game. So we'll add achievements down here under great suspicion. Now we have everything you need to complete a game. But why would you complete games? Well, you got completion bonuses, silly. Some games directly reward the player for completing everything, giving the player some new experience in the game, or some item, or some badge of some kind. In Super Mario 64, after getting the 120 stars, you unlock the cannon outside, which takes you to the top of the castle where you can meet Yoshi. And Yoshi gives you 100 lives, and you can get the wing cap so you can fly over the castle you've spent so many hours in. And that's probably fun for like 5 minutes, if that. In GTA Vice City, you get a t-shirt for completing the game. It fits the occasion. I feel like a lot of completion rewards are kind of meh, or really non-existent. So what's the reward then? The real reward for completing games is often just bragging rights and the feeling of accomplishment. You get to tell your buddies, hey, I did this thing. And maybe they'll say something like, whoa, dude, that's awesome. Congrats, here's your crown, king. And you get a good feeling. You feel complete. Now, should you complete games? I thought I couldn't give advice on this unless I went out and completed a game myself. So I have done that, and boy, let me tell you how it went. I started by picking a game that I knew would be hard and take a long time. I wanted a real feeling of accomplishment in the end. Therefore, I chose Red Dead Redemption 2. So, spoiler alert, by the way, I will be spoiling a couple of things. You have been warned. Red Dead Redemption 2 offers a vast world with great characters, a great story, and lots of extra stuff to do. The world feels vibrant. The Western theme is something that really draws you in. Now, I had played almost all of the story a couple of years back on a PS4 I no longer have. I never finished the story, and the hole that was left behind needed to be filled by some scruffy Western dudes. Yay! So I went out and started playing the game. I had a couple of goals in mind. I would track everything so I could complete the game without having to go back. I would grind everything out legitimately, and I would get 100% completion. So the journey began, and I felt good. It was fun to be in that world and experience the story and every side story. Now, I ran into a couple of hurdles. For completion, you need to find 144 cigarette cards, 48 weapons, 30 dinosaur bones, 20 dream catchers, 16 legendary animals, 13 legendary fish, 10 rock carvings, 10 equipment, 9 graves, and a partridge in a pear tree. This is on top of the 107 story missions and the side missions you need to do. In the game, you also need to complete 90 challenges across 9 different categories. These challenges range from killing 3 flying birds and holding up 5 townsfolk to catching every single fish, breaking every single horse, and collecting every single goddamn herb. The gambler challenges were the most time-consuming to me. Some of the games are random and you can't win every time. Yet you do need to win, say, 3 domino games in a row, or win 3 games of blackjack with 3 hits or more, which is so random. It really took it out of me, man. There are also 2 side missions in particular, which everyone hates. These are the missions Duchess and the other animals, and a better world a new friend. In these missions, you need to find a certain amount of rare flowers, feathers, and hunt, kill, and skin perfect animals. There's a waiting period between each delivery, making sure you can't just blast through the tasks. And don't even get me started on the squirrels. Man, just don't. Just don't. I didn't even mention everything you need to do, but this highlighted a problem I had. It was just too much. I had fun with the main missions and some of the story missions, sure, but the fact that I knew I needed to collect everything in the game loomed over me and quite frankly ruined some of the experience for me. There was just too much to do that kept me from just enjoying the game. But nevertheless, after almost 200 hours both on and off stream, I completed the game 100%. And these were my thoughts directly after beating the game. This is where I'm going to disappoint every single one of you. These are my thoughts on 100%ing games. The game now says that I've 100% completed it. What do you mean, Biggie? You haven't gotten all the equipment, you haven't gotten every fish, you haven't gotten every gang, you haven't gotten every weapon, not even every horse? Well, that's not completing the game, is it? It's not, Chad, because the game's fucking stupid. Because look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Points of interest. For that, you only have to find one. There are like there's hundreds of points of interest. Say animals. For this one, you only need to find 50 animals. And that is finding. That's not killing, skinning, studying. That's just interacting with it in some way. Do you have to study all the animals in Guarma to get 100%? No, you do not. You only need to discover 50 animals. Come, you do not. But to get the achievement of skinning and studying every animal, to get the achievements, you do need to study and kill every animal in warm-up. Now, something else that I haven't been doing is this achievement right here. Gold Rush. Earn 70 gold medals in the story mode. The problem is that the missions are janky. They're long, they're tedious. And I didn't want to do them anymore. And that was it. I had officially 100% beaten Red Dead Redemption 2 by the game's definition. I had gotten every single story achievement except for one, because I didn't want to do it anymore. The online achievements can suck a fat one. That had no chance of happening. But I feel like I went above and beyond, getting the achievements that didn't count towards 100% completion. I have no shame. Now, was it worth it? Should you 100% complete games? For me, the answer is maybe. The game says I have 100%, but Steam shows that I have only 74% of achievements. I feel like I did everything in the game, but like I didn't collect every hat. Should I have done that to complete everything? Maybe. Hey, some might say I only scratched the surface. I don't. I have no problem with beating a game 100% if it means I enjoyed the process. But if I don't, what's the point? Video games are an escape for many. It's a way to relax and have fun. If you're actively doing something in a game that isn't fun and feels like work, then what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, it's pretty cool to have an achievement that only 1.1% of people have, but I don't think it was worth it. In conclusion, do whatever makes you happy, because that's all that really matters. And hey, make sure you have a rootin' tootin' time while doing it. I played Red Dead Redemption 2 on stream doing this, and not too long ago I did a challenge where I had to get across the map, but Twitch chat could try and stop me. It was pretty fun, so check out that video, subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, subscribe to my other channel, Biggie Bear Live, for Twitch content, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye, have fun, drive safe,